ending this! This is the end.
Alright everyone, JB here. We're back with another Dragon Ball Z video on the channel today. Now today, really quick, we're gonna be looking over transforming Legends Limited MUI Goku. So, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone saw the reveals earlier. I'm not gonna lie, I just saw it not too long ago. I'm a bit disappointed. I have a little bit of mixed feelings about it personally. I might talk about it as well in this video because I won't personally have enough time to make another video about it, to talk about it, to have work later, but we're gonna talk about this. So with that being said though, if you're new around here, still leave a like on the video and join the channel. It's very much appreciated. So with the addition, you know, of MUI, we also got the Super Saiyan Blue evolution for Vegeta. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit disappointed in terms of, you know, just there's nothing new that they brought. The reveals were an hour long, right? But there was nothing new. No new mechanics, no new form of, you know, just something to introduce different into the gameplay wise. It could have been like a different ability in their unique kit, or it could have been some form of, you know, maybe just give us new summon animation. That also would have been a creaming on top, but we didn't get none of that. In terms of character selection, we also we have a Kaba and a tag. It looks like, yeah, a tag Kefla, not Kefla. It's Khalifa and yeah, Kefla. I think that's the name. I probably said it wrong, but you guys know who I'm talking about. You see them right here, both of them. This guy's a transforming unit. They're a tag unit. Bright side, you know, you're getting 3x to Z power, so that's the bright side to this. It is a total of 39 Legends Limited characters, which is a lot. You know, that's featured and unfeatured. I'm waiting on the banners to release their information, so unless they don't release that before I have to go to work, then, you know, you guys probably won't see that video come out, unfortunately. I'm hoping they do though. But yeah, overall, you know, it's not looking good, you know, because I see why a lot of people are mad. You know, I have a little bit of mixed feelings myself. It's not the worst reveal. You know, I think some people are just over exaggerating, but it definitely could have been better, especially with it being the part one, you know, the headliners. That's how you want to start off. You want to start off strong. I would have rather part two been lackluster, but if part one would have started off great, hey, you know, that's good. But now you're starting off kind of, you know, it's a bit of a letdown. Even if part two and part three are great, it's just, you know, you want to start with part one with a banger because you want people to stay and you want people to play the game. So, you know, that's on them. They've been promoting this for like the past year of how this is going to be like a great celebration, their greatest out there. Then you got the recent update with the 4 GB of RAM. It's a lot of things going on. But enough talk about that. I've already been yapping about it. Let's get to looking at this guy's kits. Now we have his strengths. I believe this guy is a range type. So number one, obviously he's a UI, so he's going to evade attacks. Unique gauge will be consumed to evade enemy attacks, like striking blast arts. This super powerful effect lets you automatically evade attacks without spending your vanishing gauge. All right, so his unique gauge is probably, you know, pretty simple. The auto dodge mechanic. Gradually master Ultra Instinct. Before transforming, you'll get permanent damage buffs for using a total of 4 and 6 strike and blast arts. Master Ultra Instinct as you fight, just like in the original series. Okay. Powerful counters after transforming. Okay, so I'm guessing when he transforms, his unique gauge turns into a counter gauge, maybe? So once you transform, you'll counter and deal a lot of damage after activating an evade. Action with the unique gauge plus special arts can counter attacks after transforming. And when a counter succeeds, you'll prevent enemy switching and draw a special move. Arts. Finish off your enemy. You're done in 4. Okay. So it says right here, action with the unique gauge plus, so plus a special arts can counter attacks after transforming. So I guess your green card, that's what they're talking about. That's basically what the special arts are. You're basically able to counter. Now we know that this guy is blue. Don't know if I have enough time to talk about Vegeta as well, but I did want to talk about Goku because I'm pretty sure majority of everyone's going to be summoning for this guy. So he's blue. He's buffing, you know, Sun Fam, Saiyan, God Key Universe Rep, you know, And then this is his Z ability. So at max, his Z ability is buffing Tag Universe Rep, Sunfam, God Key, give you strike attack, strike defense, and a bonus 18% to blast attack. So yeah, I think this guy is the melee type. Vegeta is the range type, so it's a little interesting that they went with that. All right, strike cards. You're gonna get on activation, get strike damage plus 10%, stacking that. Same thing for your blast, stacking 10% blast damage. Love to see it. Special move, massive damage, impact. Okay, so based on your activation, first and on, you get special move damage plus 30% for 3 counts. Your second time, you're getting special move arch cost minus 15. Okay, so something simple, not too crazy. Okay, greed card. So this is before he transforms. So when everyone keep that in mind, restores the unique gauge by 50%, then use it to evade attacks. Okay, so draw 1 card, you get 15% health, 45 key. You're charging your unique gauge by 50, and then you get damage plus 20%, and then you're canceling debuffs, cancel attribute downgrades. Oh no, I might have read that wrong, but yeah, cancel attribute downgrades. So you're canceling pretty much those, you know, those buffs, the debuffs and all that. So main ability, you're gonna transform, and you're getting 30% key. 30% health. You're getting 50 key, 70% to unique gauge, 20% damage inflicted, and you're canceling attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. And this is the one I was thinking about. The abnormal conditions are the ones that those are like the debuffs and stuff. So yeah, his starting ability, this is before he transforms. So he's getting out 280% damage inflicted. That's a lot, given the fact that he's getting even more when he transforms. So he's at 300 when he transforms. Damage guard is 175, key recovery 70%. He's getting level 1 card draw speed, and he has endurance. Okay, Goku has endurance, but both, I should have read this first. So he has endurance. So I'm guessing that translates to, you know, before and after he transforms. So, you know, you get the regular 30% health recovery. Interesting. Okay, that makes him even more usable, you know. Get permanent damage buffs to damage inflicted when you use a total of 4 and 6 strike. We already kind of read that one earlier. Goku even has effects to remove card slot seals and nullify abnormal conditions for a flawless defense against disruption effects. This is going to be pretty strong right here, because you know this right here with the Daima, you know, the Daima team, there's a lot of disrupt going on, a lot of sealing the card slots, so that's a plus right there. Okay, on battlefield entry, he's going to get 1 card if he has 3 or fewer cards, 40 key, 30% to unique gauge recovery. He gets cover change for 5 counts. He's nullifying those debuffs I was talking about for 5 counts. He's removing the card slot seal, and he destroys 1 card. So I don't know if this is permanent because it doesn't say any counts next to it. Maybe it has like a limit to how many times it's used, and then it resets when you tag out. Okay, so based on strike and blast arts used, your second one, you're gonna get -5 cost. Fourth one, you're gonna get damage inflicted plus 20%. That's another 20%. Now it doesn't say blast or strike damage, so I'm guessing that's just like damage inflicted. It just says damage. So this is an additional 40% damage inflicted, right? Once you get to your 6th card used, which relatively, if you're tagging in and you can combo for a good amount, especially with him already taking away those debuffs, the abnormal conditions, and removing that card slot seal, you know, you could probably reach that in 1 combo potentially, and then you're getting an additional 20%. That's an additional 60% on top of the 280 he already has. So he's already well over, you know, he's almost at 350 damage inflicted. Okay, so when on the battlefield, based on enemy strike arts activations, 2nd and more, you're gonna get enemy strike arts cost plus 5. Then 3rd and more is going to be health plus 3%, and then enemy key minus 10. So I wonder if this is like a thing where it's on the stat, because it's saying, you know, it's saying based on how many cards. So we'll have to see how that works. You know, it looks pretty good on paper so far. One on battlefield based on enemy blast arts activation, so it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, same effects. So both of these are, you know, pretty similar, just polar opposites of different cards. When on battlefield based on enemy special move, ultimate, awaken art activations. Okay, so 1 and more you get 10% health, then 2 and more you get nullified damage received, element disadvantage. So type neutral for 3 counts. Special cover change. You have a special cover change that is the strike cover change, and obviously you can combo that into this blue card, your special move arts. Okay, so we have evade type A, so different evade types. Okay, with at least 30% unique gauge when hit by an invadable attack, activate evade. Yeah, so like I said, you got tap action, strike arts, blast arts. So the regular, you know, just evade unique gauge. Okay, so assume slash decreases by 30% when evade action activates gradually when on battlefield. Okay, so I'm guessing that's his pre-transformation. This is after he transforms. Okay, so same thing right here with the blast, the strike cards. Blue card, yeah, this one is a little different. It got the same thing. You're charging your unique gauge by 50%. You're getting more special move damage, and you're doing fine endurance. That's always nice. Now green card, counter certain attacks while in stance. So this is one of those. On activation, you get 10% health, 50 ki, so that's not bad. On counter activation, you're drawing a special move arts card, damage plus 20%, and you prevent all enemies switching for 3 count. Oh, so a lock-in. A lock-in, okay. And then on the bright side, this is only one time, but if you're getting this counter off, this is a blue card. This would be a potential snipe, you know, because you're getting that additional 10% damage on top of the blue card, and then you're locking in your opponent for 3 timer counts. You know, so same thing, you know, strike, blast, tap actions, and then obviously you can combo it with your blue card. All right, so main ability, this is the one once he transforms. So you're going to draw a special move arts card next. You're getting a lot of there's a lot of health I'm seeing that you're restoring throughout this kit. You know, I'm just, you know, that's just something to mention. But health plus 35%, ki plus 50, unique gauge plus 100%. You're restoring your advantage. Okay. Special move damage plus 20%, and you're canceling attribute downgrades. All right. If there is a defeated battle member, nullify element disadvantages. So 15 timer counts. You're type neutral. That could be, like I said, right situation, this could be pretty broken. You know, you're already restoring advantage already. So with the right play, yeah, that's insane. Okay, so on transformation or battle entry, draw 1 card if it has 3 or fewer, you know, ki plus. Okay, so these are the same thing. This is the same thing that we just read not too long ago. If there's a defeated battle member, you're going to get 70% unique gauge and an additional 40% damage inflicted, uncancelable. So this isn't like a last man stand. If you're missing 1 member already, yeah, we're gonna have to count up how much damage inflicted this guy has. So that I'm looking at a lot. So on strike says blast arts used, ki plus 10, unique gauge plus 15%. So this is an additional 20% on top of the 10% he's already getting on stacking that damage inflicted with the cards. It's only for 5 timer counts, but it stacks. That's a lot. Okay. When a battlefield and enemy switches, unique gauge plus 30%, cancel attribute downgrades when hit by enemy arts, health plus 3%, ki minus 5, enemy cost plus 10 for 5 timer counts. So it doesn't say a limit or anything. So I'm guessing this stacks with every hit for a certain amount, and then it, you know, resets. When on battlefield and the enemy activates special move, blah blah blah. Yep, this is pretty much the same thing. Enemy special move says arts power minus 30%. I'm just trying to skim over because some of these are the same thing, but some of them are different. But yeah, this is pretty much the same. This one is the same. It's the strike arts cover change, unique gauge, evade type B. So they have evade type A and then a B. So you're going to, with at least 30% unique gauge when hit by an available attack, activate evade action. Same thing. Also, if strike or blast arts deal damage to enemy. Oh, okay. I read that wrong. So if you evade and if it's a strike or blast arts, you're going to deal damage to it. So basically a counter, basically. So you basically have 2 counters because the green card is the same thing, but it's a stance. So basically you're taking the stance similar to, like, let's say, you know, like the OG Legend Limited Gogeta. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. That guy takes a stance. You know, you're basically it's only for strikes though. Well, with this one, you're getting tap action, strike, blast arts. So yeah, it can be pretty broken, you know, depending on what all goes on. But yeah, let's look at how much that. So for damage inflicted wise, because before he was already over 300% before he even pretty much transforms, I believe. So if you go down here, if you're missing a battle member, you're getting that right here. Damage, that's damage plus 40%. This just says damage. So I'm guessing that's strike and blast damage, but it doesn't say strike damage. So I'm guessing that's damage inflicted overall. So I read that wrong. You know, I apologize, but this is damage inflicted overall. I'm thinking it's strike and blast, but overall that's a lot. You know, you're still stacking. This is pretty common, you know, in some, you know, Legend Limited characters, but I'm just mentioning it because this guy, I'm seeing a lot of damage inflicted. So plus that 40%, right? From losing the battle member on main ability. Let's see, does he have anything else? Yeah, so he doesn't have anything else right there. So yeah, you're stacking damage. You can stack damage on your cards once he transforms. And then before that, if we go up here really quick, based on, yeah, so same thing right here. It's an additional 40% right here. Once you get to your 6th card, whether it's a strike or a blast, it's an additional 40 plus the other 40 I just mentioned. That's 80%. 80% damage inflicted, right? On top of this 280. So we put that, if we were mathing that, right, that's 360%. But not only that, once you do transform, you're getting 20% more. So he's almost at 400% damage inflicted. And to be honest, technically speaking, even if it's only for 5 timer counts, right? So let's scroll down here really quick so I can show you guys. So once he's transformed, you know, and you're comboing, even if it's only for 5 timer counts, you're technically at 400% damage inflicted, potentially. And that's only if you have a battle member, but if you don't, you're around 380. You know, I don't know if this stats, it only says for 5 timer counts, so maybe it does stat for only 5 timer counts. So technically speaking, you might be at 400%, but potentially you're at 400%, even if it's only for those couple timer counts. So yeah, looking overall though, this guy, you know, he got some pretty good things going on for him. Nothing like I said, nothing too crazy though. Overall, you know, I see a lot of restoring health. He already has, when I mean restore health, I mean like he's just restoring health on green cards, main abilities, and just certain other gimmicks he has in here when he goes on the battlefield too. But yeah, overall, you know, nothing too crazy. He has, like I said, no new mechanics. The guy has pretty much the simple unique gauge where you're just evading attacks. Once he transforms, he counters. He even has a stance with his green card. Not a bad character. Would I recommend you summon on him though? I would, just because of the 3x Z power. But if I had to say out of the two, I haven't looked all the way at Vegeta's you know, his unique equip, no, not equip, his unique gauge and all that stuff with this kit. I don't know, you know, cause I'm pretty sure a lot of people are probably gonna summon on Goku more, just to, you know, just as Goku. But if I look at Vegeta's kit and he's overall just better in terms of stuff that I'm seeing, because the one that I'm getting from Goku before we get off this video is he's going to be one of those, he's a high damage type of character potentially, if you can, you know, some of these conditions, because you have to have a battle member missing, and then some of them are required, you have to have like 6 cards used, which overall should be pretty easy if he has endurance, and you can pretty much use him as a, you know, different situations for it. So yeah, he got all these different things. His green cards are given, you know, it's a basic one. It's not nothing too crazy, but you're drawing a card, you're getting some health, some key damage, you're canceling attribute downgrades, so it's not bad, you know. But overall though, I will have to wait to see the banner. You know, that's what I'm hoping that they release the information on the banners pretty soon. They probably will, you know, I'm hoping that they do, so I can get that video out as well for you guys. But if not, then maybe I'll make it after they release the banners, because, you know, your boy has a late shift, so I'm not going to be off until after the banners are released. and my summons are probably gonna be a bit late, but we'll be there. But with that being said, though, overall he looks like a really good unit. You know, nothing I would just go out and say, oh, well, this is horrible. This is horrible. He has some ways to cancel the disrupt, if you know, effects and all that. Don't see too much disrupt in him though. He has a tiny bit. You know, I saw one where he's destroying cards. He's increasing your card cost, which to be really valuable. He's taking away some key, but nothing in terms of bit disruption. He looks like a high damage type of character that can evade. He has endurance, you know, so potentially, you know, you're gonna want to put him on a team where he's just doing most of the damage. So with that being said, though, pretty long video, but as always, though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everyone have a blessed day. It's your boy JB. I'm out.